This morning, we're working to get you some answers on the big news from the White House.
President Trump just signed an executive order dismantling the Department of Education. And your reporter, Marcy Jones, is live at the Capitol this morning, breaking down the impact to families and students here in Connecticut. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning. Well, this really is not a surprise move. In fact, all during Trump's presidential campaign, he regularly promised to, quote, send education back to the state. So let's break down exactly what that means for students right here in Connecticut. Essentially, this executive order is to have Director Linda McMahon shut down major pieces of the department to cripple it, seemingly as a way to avoid the need for congressional approval to officially close it. As far as impact goes for students here in Connecticut, the federal government does not mandate curriculum. That's the responsibility of state and local governments, which provide 90% of funding to schools. However, the Department of Education does oversee funding for low-income student programs like Title I, Head Start, Pell Grants, and the Individuals with Disability Education Act. Before the signing, President Trump did say critical programs will be protected. However, it remains unclear where the department will make changes. While supporters say giving all power of education back to individual states will benefit students, others like Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz don't agree, saying in a statement, quote, the executive order hurts every one of Connecticut's 500,000 K-12 public school students and the 60,000 students who depend on Pell Grants to pursue higher education. Now, if President Trump does want to close the department altogether, that will actually require approval from Congress. Your reporter in Hartford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Marcy's